Hi, in evoBackOffice you can restrict the sales of items based on multiple different criteria. Let's take a look at the options available. In the configuration menu there's an option named Create Sales Restriction. This is where standard sales restrictions are set up. Selecting the Add Restriction button displays the options. A restriction ID isn't needed as evoBackOffice will allocate one for you. Give it a clear name that describes what it's for, such as tobacco and alcohol or lottery. This also makes life a lot easier when applying the restriction to an item or department. Then give it a clear and simple description. This isn't visible when applying the restriction, so it's for your benefit when you want to make any changes to an existing restriction. Age restriction is used for the examples we've just mentioned, such as tobacco and alcohol sales. Minimum customer age is where you enter the legal age the customer has to be to purchase the product. Minimum employee age is where you enter the age your staff have to be to legally sell the product. This corresponds with the birth date that's set in the user configuration screen. Then there's a looks like age. The common looks like age for 18 rated products is 25. If 25 is typed into this box, a prompt will appear asking the cashier if the customer looks at least 25 years old. If they don't, then ID can be requested. Quantity restriction is used to restrict how many of an item can be purchased within a single transaction. Don't mistake this for analgesic restrictions though. This applies to multiples of a single product, not multiple products. An example of when this would have been used is during COVID, when it could be placed on certain items to stop panic buyers clearing a shelf. Period restriction allows items to be refused for sale between certain timeframes. This is particularly useful in Scotland where the law states alcohol can only be purchased in stores between 10 AM and 10 PM. Just enter the times and days you want the restriction to be lifted. So for alcohol in Scotland, we set 10 AM to 10 PM, then set the start and end day to the same day. We then repeat this process for the other days of the week. If we set the start day to Monday and the end day to Sunday, the restriction is only active from 10 PM Sunday evening, so each weekday is set separately. Whichever sales restriction you've just set, it's added to a product by selecting it in the stock item under the properties section. If you plan to add it to a department, then use the bulk stock editor to do this quickly. One final thing, don't forget to add this to the relevant sales departments to automatically add the restriction to new products. Another type of restriction is for analgesic products, more commonly known as painkillers. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency guidance is that only 2 products containing paracetamol can be sold in one transaction. To ensure this guidance is easily followed in store, there's an analgesic tick box in the properties section of a stock item. After ticking this option and updating the stock item, the restriction is sent automatically to your till. On evoPOS, you can now sell any 2 analgesic products, but as soon as you try to sell a third, a message appears explaining why the additional item cannot be purchased. Remember, not all items in your medicines department may contain paracetamol, so we wouldn't recommend adding this restriction to a complete department. Thanks for watching.